If you're a woman in your 40s and beyond, this session is for you. We'll talk about the midlife transitions every woman goes through. I will share a little bit of information that will help you understand what you're experiencing. Then I will guide you through self-analysis exercise, and then we will have a hypnotherapy session. If you're here for the first time, welcome. My name is Guzalia Davis. I am a hypnotherapist, and I am myself in mid-50s now. In my work, I see many women of that age. Why in midlife we all hit that point where we feel completely lost, exhausted, betrayed. This stage is not just about menopause. It's not just about hormones and biology. This is identity shift. The person that you were before doesn't exist anymore. Your body changed, your priority changed, the expectations have changed, and even chemically, you're not the same person anymore. You see, the estrogen and progesterone, they don't just regulate our cycle, they influence what's happening in the brain. In our reproductive years, when we're young and can have babies, our neurology is wired for close relationships, bonding, caregiving, self-sacrifice. We are wired by nature to put ourselves last, to be empathic, to be people-pleasing, to be abiding, to smooth corners in relationship just for the sake of keeping peace. And once we hit that age where we no longer can have babies, our hormonal imprint changes, and that changes what's happening in our brain. Those areas of the brain that used to be fueled by estrogen and progesterone are now quieting down. But at the same time, different parts of our brain become active. Clarity, focus, self-awareness. And let me know if you have experienced that. Every client, woman of that age, says, it's as though some fog was lifted off. It's as if I was intoxicated for the past 20 years. But now I can see what's really happening. And this is why so many divorces. We think, well, women got older and men want younger women. This is why they leave marriages. Most of divorces are initiated by middle-aged women because now they can see clearly what is happening in their relationship. Not because their body changed, but because they are no longer willing to put up with all the mistreatment. Things that once felt important, keeping peace, bonding, taking care of everybody, no longer drive you. Instead, now you're pulled strongly toward authenticity and freedom. Every woman goes through this transition. And it even has an ancient story. The myth of Persephone, the maiden of spring that is taken into the underworld. If you're familiar with astrology or ancient mythology, you know the story. A young and innocent maiden was kidnapped by the king of death and taken into the underworld. And at first it is a descent, and it feels like death. But in time she becomes queen of the underworld, and she returns to the surface, not as an innocent maiden she once was, but as a woman of power, carrying wisdom, strength, and authority. People say that king of death kidnapped her, forced her into the underworld, and held her as a prisoner. But Persephone says he saved her. This is the last version of this myth. What most people don't know is that this is an adaptation that came with patriarchy. Before that, there wasn't the king of death. It was one entity, Persephone. But men couldn't stand that a woman can possess such a power. So they changed that myth, the story, creating the king of death. And it is reflected in astrology. Before Virgo is a Persephone, and Scorpio represents death. That was a one zodiac sign. They've divided it and inserted Libra in between. Midlife is our Persephone moment. It feels as something is lost, our youth, our fertility, our innocence. But what is really happening is a rebirth. The old self that was submitting, self-sacrificing, now dies. So the new, more powerful self can emerge. And what patriarchy did is brainwash a woman that once you lose your fertility, you are no longer visible. You're just discarded. Because in reality, when a woman already raised her children, fulfilled all her societal obligations, took care of everyone, did everything for everyone, now, for the first time, she's learning to put herself first. Due to hormonal change, now she has clarity, focus. She becomes assertive. She feels self-empowered. Men want none of it. Because if you feel good about yourself, if you are self-empowered, if you now finally can see all this mistreatment, you can see all the manipulations for what they are. And if you are no longer willing to put up with this, who is going to take care of your husband? Men will tell you, well, you're old now. There are many young women. Some men even leave their marriages to be with younger women. But how long does it last? I can tell you from my experience in hypnotherapy practice, for every crying woman of that age, I see about 10, maybe more crying men because their wife left, or maybe he chased a younger woman and now she dumped him and the wife doesn't want him back, and now they're alone and they're incapable of taking care of themselves because their wife did everything, and they are lonely because their wife was their best friend, maybe the only friend. And if I tell you the number of men that come for hypnotherapy for impotence, you wouldn't believe me. And you know the story that I hear over and over and over? They blamed their wife for not looking attractive enough to turn them on, for gaining weight, for not taking care of themselves, for not looking hot anymore. They blamed wife for not being able to turn them on. And once they start chasing younger women, they realize they had problems not because their wife couldn't turn them on. They are just impotent. And I hear it over and over and over, the same story. And now they're middle-aged, impotent. Most have no money left. And if a man doesn't have plenty of money, not many women will be willing to kiss their balding head, rub their bare tummy, be their maid, a nurse, a caregiver, and a friend. The only woman that was willing to do it was the one that loved him, and he screwed it up. So these midlife changes are not easy for both genders, but what comes after it is drastically different. Women step into their power and men lose it. So if you feel right now lost and exhausted, understand that even though it's not easy, but it's normal. Some parts of you are dissolving, old roles no longer fit. You're not broken, you've been remade. Not just your body is changing, your entire life, your priorities, your interests, what you are willing to do and what you want to do. It is for the first time for most of women that sense of self comes. Who am I? Who am I on my own? As a fully independent identity, what do I want? Many of us just learning to tend to our own needs, to put ourselves first. And that for sure will affect everything in your life. Maybe before, not just marriage. Well, hopefully you are an exception and you have a healthy, beautiful marriage. I really wish that for you. But for many, it's not. So you'll have to deal with that. Then your kids are grown and living home. That's another very difficult transition. I remember when my son was just preparing for college. I think I started panicking about 2 years before the college started. I had nightmares, crying, asking, who am I now? What there is left in my life? Because my entire life revolved around him. Then you start questioning your friendships too. Because now you are no longer willing to put up with people that cross your boundaries. What you can accept now is changing. You're willing to accept much more before. Remember, hormonally and neurologically you were wired to be abiding, people-pleasing, nice, wanting to smooth corners. Now you're not that person anymore. So now you are questioning all those friendships. And at midlife, many people say that, oh, I've lost all my friends, or I don't socialize that much anymore, or I'd rather completely isolate myself. You can understand now why this is happening. And then you're probably questioning your job too. You are not willing to put up with a bullying boss anymore. You see, now every single part of your life needs your attention. It needs an update. And there is so much I want to share on this specific topic. One video is not enough. I would love to hear from you what exactly you are struggling with. But right now, let's get to work. I'm going to guide you through prompts that I give to my clients. It will help you to understand yourself better. Because remember, the old you, it doesn't exist anymore. The new you is emerging and you need to study it. You need to understand it. You need to review your priorities, your goals. This practice is best done in writing. So if you want to take notes now, please, or you can just listen and get back to it later. Now I'm thinking I should put it into PDF. I'll have it ready for you, and then you'll find a link below the video in the description box. you'll be able to download the PDF. You may have to revisit those prompts a few times. And again, do it in handwriting. Typing is not that effective. Do it in handwriting. This is important. All right, let's start now. First section. This is for releasing the old self. 3 questions you need to ask yourself. What roles or identities have defined me most over the past 20 years? Who I was? A caregiver, a partner, a wife, a mother, peacemaker, a housekeeper, a helper. Remember, you can see things now much more clearly than you used to. The things that were acceptable to you before may not longer be that way now. Even the roles you were playing that seemed perfectly fine before, now you can see them differently. I know not the best example, and hopefully does not apply to you, but as an example, just so you can understand what I mean. Perhaps before you thought of yourself a happy wife. Now, looking back, you realize that you were just a maid, a cook, a chauffeur, a nurse, a servant. Maybe before you thought of yourself as a good friend, a good person. Now you realize that it was a person with lack of boundaries, a pushover, a doormat. You see, this is why so many women at this age feel betrayed. You know, one thing is to be betrayed by someone else, but when you realize that you are the one that betrayed yourself, put yourself last, abandoned yourself over and over. This is a very hard realization to come to. But let's continue. Next question. Which of those roles feel heavy, outdated, and no longer true to you? I'm no longer a doormat. I'm no longer a pushover. I'm no longer a people pleaser. I'm no longer someone's maid. Next question. If I imagine releasing one of those roles, what emotions come up? This is why I said you might have to revisit these prompts a few times, because it's hard to process all at once. You will have many different emotions coming up. You will need time to process it. Even in this section alone, as you're listening, you already probably have a list in mind of some roles you are no longer willing to perform. You may have to address each role. You'll have to sit with this. Okay, I'm no longer this person. I'm no longer willing to do this. How do I feel about it? What's coming to the surface? Perhaps before you already had all these negative emotions, but you suppressed them. You didn't want to address it. You tried to ignore it. And now it's all rising. Maybe you were traumatized by this situation over and over and over. Imagine how much of this trauma you suppressed, how much of it your body is holding now. So sit with it. Feel what's coming. Name it. Is it grief? Is it pain? Maybe fear? Maybe disgust? And alone with it, for sure, I promise you, you will feel relief, lightness, freedom. Now we will move to the second part. Here we will address relationships. The questions to ask yourself. Where in my life have I ever said yes when I wanted to say no? That question alone will take you a while. You better be writing it all down. What behaviors or dynamics am I no longer willing to accept in relationships? Who drains my energy and who nourishes it? If I trusted my own needs fully, how would I show up differently with others? Let me explain what I mean by that. What does it mean to trust your own needs? Throughout our entire childhood and younger years, we were constantly taught to discard our needs, to ignore them. I feel that you disrespect me. You just imagining things. I need attention. I need care. You're too needy. I feel that I'm not appreciated. Well, you don't really do that much. You see what I mean? Now you have to listen and understand your needs and learn to trust them. And then through that, you can question what's happening in your relationships, in your friendships, with your colleagues at work, with your bosses. Maybe you work for yourselves and you review your relationship with your clients and customers. Let's move on to the next section. Body and boundaries. Questions to ask yourself. How has my body been asking for change? How's my sleep, my energy level, my health overall, my mood? Am I irritable? Do I have anxiety? Do I feel depressed? Do I have any chronic conditions? Does something hurt? You know, for the past 20 years, at least 20 years, you were constantly focusing on somebody else. Your spouse, your children. Every day you were taking care of other people's needs. We women get so busy, we don't pay attention to what's happening here until something major happens. This is what illnesses are. This is a cry for attention. Look at me, your body is screaming. Notice me, pay attention to me, take care of me. Because if you're ignoring your needs, simple needs, there is nothing extravagant. Sleep enough, rest enough, nourish properly, go to bathroom on time. This is a very womanly thing. We get so busy, we will hold it in. So now it's time to be present. Turn your focus to yourself and listen to your body. What does it feel like? What does it need? With my clients, women clients, because men don't need that. Men pay attention to themselves because, they are the belly button of the earth. Everybody else is not that important for them. But for women, it's different, you know what I mean. So this is a practice that can help you to pay attention to yourself, to your body. With my clients, we set alarm on their phone. For everyone, it's different, of course, depending on what's happening in your life, your schedule, your routine. But it has to be at least once per hour. And if you're really busy at work, maybe you can schedule those check-ins outside of your work schedule. So you set alarm. This is a reminder to check in with yourself. Your alarm goes off. You stop whatever you're doing. You bring focus to yourself. You scan your body. You simply remind to yourself, this is me. This is my body. What do I want right now? How do I feel? What do I need? Am I thirsty? Am I hungry? Am I cold? Am I too hot? Am I too tired? Maybe I want a little piece of chocolate. Then you'll have to allow yourself to do it. You'll have to take care of yourself. Whatever you've registered at that moment, you'll have to do it. Maybe I need to pee right now. Then you drop everything you do and you go. This is how you teach yourself to hear and understand and honor your needs. The next question: what boundaries does my body need now that I didn't need before? Maybe now I cannot work for 15 hours straight. Maybe right now I need a little more sleep. Maybe right now I need a better nourishment regimen. Maybe right now I absolutely cannot stand when someone enters my personal space. What daily rituals actually support my energy and what drains it? You know your daily routine, go through it one step at a time. Does it make me feel good? Does it support me? Does it nurture me? Or maybe it's killing me. You are a grown woman. You are in charge of yourself, your body, your day. Take control of your life. Choose what supports you and let go of what drains you. Next section is about clarity. Questions to ask yourself: what am I suddenly seeing more clearly than I ever seen before? Remember about naming things with real names. Look at your experiences, relationships, situations, and name them with what they really are. Don't try to sugarcoat it. Don't try to label it with some spiritual lingo. Name those things with what they really are. Now that I see this truth, what actions would I need to take? What lies, excuses, or illusions am I finally ready to stop carrying? What lies have you been telling to yourself? What stories you've created to cover up messes in your life? Maybe you are in toxic relationship and calling it soulmate connection. Maybe you are addicted to substances and calling it spiritual awakening instead of addressing the addiction. Maybe people are taking advantage of you and you call yourself a good person. That's what a good person does. Good person helps everyone. Good person doesn't say no. So what lies, excuses, or illusions are you finally ready to stop carrying? Next section is about reclaiming your power. What do I want the second half of my life to stand for? What freedoms or desires am I reclaiming now? Now that childbirth, intimate relationships are no longer the center of my life, what do I really want? If I lived unapologetically, what would I pursue? So many women at this age move across the country or even abroad, start new careers, discover their talents, learn something new. If there are no limits, what would you want to pursue? Who do you want to become? What do you want to do? And the next section is integration of the new self. What 3 values do I want to guide my next chapter in life? You start with 3, and then it will evolve into a longer list. What are my most important values in life right now? What 3 rules will protect those values? Create those rules for yourself. People think we set boundaries for others. No, nobody knows your boundaries. They're not written on your forehead. Boundaries are for you. What do you allow yourself to do, and what do you allow yourself to accept from others. These are the boundaries for you. These are the rules for you. I will no longer accept so and so. I will no longer stay in this situation like this and this. Next, imagine yourself 10 years from now. Looking back, what advice would she give me about this transition? Imagine you already went through this transition, through this major shift of identity. You've recreated yourself, you've reclaimed all your power, you've created the life you really want. And this woman is looking back at you today. What advice would she give you? It's nice to get yourself into a relaxed, meditative state for that and really involve your imagination. When you go to bed at night, think about that. As I said, I will create the PDF and I'll place the link under this video so you can download it. Go through that without rush. Return to it as many times as you need to. For some of my clients, it took a couple of months to get through it. But I promise you it is going to help you to understand yourself better and to bring more clarity to what is happening and what you want for yourself. And now we are going to have a hypnotherapy session. If you need to pause the video, take a bathroom break, get something to drink, and prepare yourself for the session just as you would if you had a private appointment with me. Get yourself comfortable, dim the light, turn off your phone, get a nice soft blanket so you can be cozy and warm. Body temperature will drop during hypnosis and you may get chilly. You can sit comfortably in a regular chair or an armchair, or you can lie down if you want to. Couch, bed, floor, it's all fine as long as you're comfortable. Check your body, release the tension if you need to adjust your position to more comfortable, and take a deep breath in. Hold it for a moment and exhale slowly. Another deep breath in. Hold it and exhale. And another deep breath in, letting it go. Notice how your breathing has become deeper and steadier. The exhales have become much longer. Just follow that rhythm. With each inhale, become more comfortable, and with each exhale, drift deeper into relaxation. And now notice how your muscles start to soften, and there is a pleasant wave of warmth start to flow through you. When you are relaxed like this, the blood and the energy can flow through you freely, and that feels so good. Bring your focus to your face, relax all your facial muscles, release all the tension, unlock your jaws, and now glide your attention down your neck and shoulders, and relax all those muscles. Move your focus down your arms and hands, and as you reach the fingers, you may notice that there are some tingling, humming sensations. And now move your attention down your back and stomach, and release any tension that might be left there. Move your focus down your hips and thighs and relax them completely. Glide over your knees, calves and ankles, Release any tension and heaviness and move your focus down to your feet and toes and relax them completely. Simply tell to yourself, I am calm, I am comfortable, I am very relaxed. I'm feeling better and better, more relaxed, more comfortable, serene, tranquil. And as your body keeps relaxing deeper and deeper now, turn on your imagination and picture, pretend, visualize that you in a beautiful forest standing next to the river that divides the past from the present. And your past is left on the other side. Look at it without any judgment or resentment. Look at it with compassion and love. And now if you can, repeat the statements that I will make. You can repeat them out loud or with your inner voice or simply listen to them. But keep focusing on your body and pay attention to how it responds to the statements. If you feel any noticeable reaction, take a note. This is a signal that it needs your attention. Let's go on now. I know that in the past I often put myself last. I acknowledge this without judgment or resentment. I honor this experience. I did that because it was the best I knew how, because at that time it worked, because others expected it from me, because I believed it was what love required, and I honor the woman I was. And now scan your body and gather all the tension, all the discomfort, all the heaviness that you notice. Gather it, pull it out with your breath and exhale it. Let it go. Do it a few times until you release all the tension and heaviness. Return to your body, scan it. Once you find some discomfort, tightness, heaviness, pull it out with your breath and exhale. Exhale it through the open mouth. Release it, let it go. And now take another deep breath, and on the exhale, drift deeper into relaxation. Already now feeling much better, lighter. And now repeat these statements after me. Now I am no longer willing to do this. Now I am ready to learn to put myself first, to let my needs matter, to let my voice count. In the past I often said yes when my heart, my body, my soul wanted to say no. I acknowledge this without judgment, and I release this. In the past I often accepted behavior from others that I'm no longer willing to accept. I see that clearly now, and I release this. In the past, I often allowed others to mistreat me, and sometimes I didn't even realize that it was wrong. I can see it clearly now. I acknowledge it without judgment, without resentment. I honor the truth of that. I forgive myself for not knowing better. From this moment forward, I give myself permission to put myself first, to say no when I need to say yes only when it's true for me. I give myself permission to set boundaries, to expect respect, to walk away from everything that dishonors me, to invite what uplifts and nourishes me. I choose to live as the woman I am becoming, a woman of clarity, a woman of power, a woman who trusts herself. Take a deep breath and feel this truth filling you now. The past has taught you, the present is freeing you, the future is calling you. You are no longer who you were in the past. This person is left in the past, where it belongs. You've done everything that was expected from you. You took care of others. You served. You worked hard. You helped. You supported others. You fulfilled all your duties and obligations. You paid off all your debts. And now finally, you are becoming who you were always meant to be. Now, you, your time, and your life belong to you. Claim it. It is yours fully. You are in charge. Let this truth embed deeply into your psyche. Let it awaken the parts of you that were asleep. Feel the energy rising within you, flowing, rushing through your body. You may notice tingles, humming. You might notice soft current rising through your spine. Imagine that you are pulled into a vortex of energy, and as you spin in it, all that doesn't serve you anymore simply falls off, gets released, and disappears. It's as though you're shedding dead skin. So the new you, beautiful, powerful, unapologetically authentic, can emerge. This is you now. And as you landing firmly in the now, make a promise to yourself. Put yourself first. You matter. You belong here. You are important. And now you can drift into a deeper relaxation or even into sleep. Or if you need to go on with your day, take a few deep breaths. Become more aware of your body and surroundings. Feel the energy rising. Feeling content, rested. Feeling optimistic about your future. Feeling in charge. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Feeling fantastic.